Welcome to an episode of the Livin Room Podcast without the G. I'm your host for today, Bryan, with my fellow co-hosts, Dom and Jason. And we have a special guest for today, Jesser. So, how's life been going for you?
All right then. Well,
let's go that way.
Yeah. Yep. Well, life has been really busy kicking off 2025. Took a large break from volleyball. Now back into it. I used to do it for like 12, 16 hours a week.
Really? I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Now it's open gym season back on. Really got into health and fitness. Been working out consistently for the past like 2 months. Tracking calories, all of that good stuff.
Good stuff.
Even opened up a business. So I'm officially a business owner. Yeah.
Take this in pieces. You said a lot. So, what, I guess, I know you just said you stopped playing, but in volleyball, what position were you playing when you did volleyball? And was it like intramural, or is it certain leagues you did?
Yeah, it was open gyms in the community. We also did league. We just finished our league season.
Okay.
Our team name was Big Ol' Hitties.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Do you have a uniform?
It's punny.
No,
what I would do.
What would you do though?
I'm not going to say it. It's way too early in the podcast episode to say it.
Yeah, but sometimes I flex the short shorts with the tank top. Girlfriend can't be too happy about that, but what can I say?
How short are we talking?
How short? We're talking like
booty shorts.
Like this high, guys.
It's basically like boxers.
Yes.
But then you're trying to work out too, so you're gonna have like bigger like legs and thighs, so it's gonna look short in comparison to your legs.
So your massive muscles.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
They call me tree trunks.
There you go. And them squats and those I don't know. So what position do you play though? If you were like a hitter, then you have the jumping. It makes sense, But if you're like a libero or a middle blocker, it's
honestly, I'm the utility player.
Okay.
When I played in college, I was libero specifically, libero and setter secondary.
Okay.
But in open gyms, I hit, I block, I set, I do everything. So,
and you coach,
and I coached. I did coach for
what age or?
I've coached
like youth.
Yeah, between like 7 years old to 18. So
and that's like summer camps or something along those lines, or
what? The volleyball clubs. Okay. So I've worked at a couple of volleyball clubs here and there, and in total I coached for about 8 years. Okay. So,
all right.
And you're kind of like taking a break from that and like working on your like main goals for like 2025.
No. So the reason why I stopped coaching was I actually got deployed. I was an Army reservist.
Reservists? Is that what you call it? Reservist?
Weekend warrior. Yeah, with the ST, with the hard STS.
I thought you were going to say weekend warrior.
Yes.
You only get deployed on weekends or whatever.
Also known as weekend warrior. So mid-season towards the end there, back in 23, I was deployed. I was called to duty and went overseas.
Okay.
Yeah, I went overseas. I went to a combat zone, Iraq. I was there for about 10 months. So that's actually why I stopped coaching. And then when I came back, the transition from like that active duty scene to back to civilian life was pretty difficult or challenging, actually.
Well, firstly off, thanks for the service, as always,
Yeah, man.
My question on that is, how was being like firsthand experience being on like a war zone or battle zone area as Iraq?
Honestly, there's just so many things to adjust to. Seeing so many soldiers from different countries, learning how to properly interact with them, because obviously we have our own kind of customs and rules for U.S. side, and then obviously wanting to make sure that we don't offend anyone or anything like that. I specifically worked in ammunition, so ammunition logistics specifically. So I actually got to interact with a bunch of the wide range of forces on base. So besides that, the temperatures out there got as hot as 130 degrees.
Jeez.
We're outside every day.
Yeah.
Can't imagine, man. That's hotter than the Philippines. Is it dry heat or is it like
It's a dry heat, so
Okay.
the sweat's not sticking to you.
you get used to it?
Yeah, you do get used to it. It was funny because our winter there, it was 90 degrees, and I was
Oh,
wearing.
geez.
There I was wearing
What a
4.
winter.
Yeah, all right. And
If only.
I wore 4 layers, and I was shivering at 90 degrees
Oh, because you just got used to the
to the 130.
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
Did it get super
So-
dark?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Man was burnt, probably.
yeah. If anything, light rain, but
Yeah.
Oh wow.
mhm.
There you go. What kind of food
Yeah.
was it? Like, what's do you eat over there? Is it like mostly like, because is it like whatever the military feeds you, or is there like Middle Eastern food?
So the base that I was on, there was very limited like restaurants. I know,
Okay.
for example, Kuwait. There's Burger King, Pizza Hut,
Ooh,
like so
dang.
many different restaurants there. And we had this shawarma place open up. We had like your generic Starbucks, your generic Subway.
I didn't know that they had stuff like that because I thought they were like really not like Western at all. But
No, it's just businesses there that got
they're
permission
just
from the
everywhere.
government.
Yeah.
But they had a dining facility there. Thank God I was on an Air Force base. So we would have like Mongolian Mondays or
Oh, wow.
Steak
Ooh, nice.
Fridays or Surf and Turf.
And was all those restaurants on the base, or did you have to leave the base in order to go to those restaurants?
They were all on base.
That's really
No one
convenient.
was allowed to leave.
That's what I figured, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to double check because I'm like,
Mhm.
this kind of sounds weird if you are on the base because usually some stuff is like outside the base. So like, oh, that seems like you'd have to travel to go somewhere, but it's pretty convenient that
Just right
they
there.
have that
Mhm.
on the base.
Yeah, and I would say I did get to go off base once, specifically for a mission, and got to blow up some old ammunition. I'm not really sure.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool. Got to press the button, see the little
it's
spark
fancy.
go.
How far
up
away-
and
Button,
down.
press the red button, you know.
Yeah.
How
and then
far
you see
away
the
was it
mushroom.
though? Like,
I mean, it felt like we drove maybe 20, 30 minutes out
okay.
to do
so
that.
you had like a like telescope or whatever, and you could see it
Oh,
like blow up.
So we drove 20, 30 minutes away from base.
Okay.
And then I would say maybe 5-10 minute drive from where we blew everything up. And, just looking at it with our helmet on
Yeah.
and seeing the cloud. And then on camera, I have this video, you just see like the little shrapnel like flying as if it's like hail, and it hit me in the head. And I was like, oh shit.
Thank God you're
Smile
wearing
and
a
bleeding.
helmet.
That'd be
Thank God
bad.
you're wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
You would
Yeah.
have been
yeah.
decapitated with
Yeah.
with
So
spike
bad.
strip.
Yeah.
She has like half a head.
Yeah.
I mean, I think so. I think that's kind of how it would work. Or a bad scar, at least.
Yeah.
That'll make a fun story.
I don't think that would be a fun story.
It's
at
like,
all.
so you were in battle? Like, no, just a piece of shrapnel hit me.
I went on this so-called mission to blow up things.
Yeah, I
Just hit
lost
me in the
my
face, bro.
eye.
Yeah.
I lost half my
Lost
head.
Now I have a robotic eye. Like,
All right, that's pretty sick.
yeah.
Yeah. But also to go in a little bit deeper into what you asked about how it felt being over there.
Are we going deep?
It was just a little.
just a teeny bit.
Well, like your question asked, or when you asked about how it felt over there, it was stressful, like really stressful. We had a very extensive workload. We worked 7 days a week, 12, 14-hour days out in that heat, like I described.
Mhm.
And we had no breaks. It was probably for three months straight of just that. 7 days a week, 12, 14-hour days.
Did they pay you a lot of money because you were working so much?
Yeah, but imagine having a salary job that's capped. You do get like extra things like basic housing allowance for back home, right? Because obviously there are people who may have had rents or houses,
Mhm.
right? So it's just extra money that's tax free, and since it was overseas, it was tax free, so it was really nice there. But there were some instances where I was very stressed out with
I would imagine.
with the workload, with
I would
new
imagine.
environments,
Yeah,
and there were a couple times where there were threats, right?
of course.
Not
So you had to like sleep basically with one eye open, you know. Be like,
Or you're sleeping
Yeah.
shifts or whatever.
that's
yeah.
it.
There were a couple times we were attacked. but it
Okay.
wasn't anything like I saw them face to face on the field type, you know.
But you're
And-
technically like front lines. Like I don't think they're gonna invade your base. It would probably be more like shooting at you guys or something.
Mm,
Well, they were invading the base if you're on the base for the time,
mhm.
which is kind of wild. You
Yeah,
know?
for real.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's one time there was a rocket shot, right?
Oh,
And then
Jesus.
everyone had to go underground, and really just quick notice, like grab your stuff, like and run
Mhm.
type.
Jeez.
So stressful.
And then when you were there, did you have any other allied nations in the base? Like, for example, like Japan or who else is like any like the EU and stuff like that? Or Mexico, Canada, stuff like that? Or is it just like only US or South Korea, other country, but that was there, but there's just Americans that were on the base.
Well, we actually got to work with the Norwegians, Canadians, the Spaniards,
Okay.
the Polish, even other countries. I can't think of them, all of them at the top of my head,
Right.
but I actually built solid relationships with a good number of them. You know, played in volleyball tournaments with them, Smash Bros tournaments with them.
Oh, wow.
You guys play ping pong as
Karaoke,
well.
Ping
Yeah, there
pong,
you go.
the Spaniards,
It's very,
and the Italians, as well as the Polish. They're super good at ping pong, so
Oh.
forced me to
Yeah.
up my game.
Bro, we got the real life Forrest Gump over here.
And John was
Did you have your own
running.
like equivalent of Bubba?
Of what?
Have you seen the movie?
I can't recall what reference you're making right now.
Bubba
to
was
be
the
honest.
person that was played by Tom Hanks.
Mm,
He's like the main character.
gotcha. No.
I thought Forrest was.
Oh no,
Tom
Forrest
Hanks.
Gump. Yeah, Bubba was someone else.
Bubba was
Yeah.
because like the Bubba's a black dude and Tom Hanks is not
Is
black.
it-
That's a great observation.
Nice.
I was like confused for a second, but like
No, I got Forrest Gump in Bubba.
yeah. Because like in the movie, I forgot how he ends up in the military, but then he meets the one guy, like the only person to really accept him as a friend, because a lot of people push him away because he's like mentally disabled, or I don't know like the right word to use for that. And then Bubba was his best friend, and then I guess like spoiler alert for people who haven't watched the movie already. I think Bubba dies like within. Well, in the movie, I don't know how long they knew each other, but like it's like only 15 to 20 minutes of the movie where they know each other, and he gets shot, and then he lost his only friend, and kind of like holds him in his arms.
Dude, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha. Well, no, I did not have
I mean,
that.
hopefully
that
that's
would
the
be
extreme
crazy.
part of that.
Yeah, for real.
But like if you had like kind of like a homie that like you could have said that
Mhm.
he was your homie for like that period of your life.
Well, you're probably with your like platoon and stuff, right? Or is it? How does that work? How does the process of getting deployed? Because you have your platoon, right?
Mhm.
And squad. Do you get deployed all together, or is it only select few based on current situation? Because you're all on reserve, or some of you are in reserve, some are active.
Mhm.
That's a lot of questions. But
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
typically, how it works is you have your company, right? And then broken down into platoon level. So maybe like 3 platoons. And then within your platoons, you have a couple, typically 4 squads.
Mhm.
And basically, they split us all off, sent us to different locations, especially because ammo, we're like the backbone, or the
Right.
support, right? But behind the guys on the front lines. So, yeah, obviously it was kind of like normal work day, right? 12-hour shift, whatever. And then when you're off, do whatever, be there for the hit times for your meals. And whatever else free time we had, spend it as you'd like, whether it's in the gym, at the USO, the United States organization, where they would have like ping pong tables, snacks, musical instruments, video game consoles, stuff like that to kind of help wind down.
Got it. But so when you were deployed, you didn't really answer the question.
Sorry, I kind of like went down the trail.
Yeah, he's like, you broke
getting
down
there,
all
we're
like
getting
the squad, like how the dynamic was. You
Yeah.
didn't say like how everyone, if like you were the only one that went, or you other people in your platoon went. What was the dynamic?
we had like a
Or your
part of our
squads
platoon
went?
though.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
we had
Or you had
roughly-
others stay back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Because like,
So
did you
some
all
people
go in
would
once,
stay-
or did people have the choice of like staying? Like
It wasn't really a choice.
Well, I mean, you know
it
what I'm
was
saying,
like if you volunteered to go, you could go, and then
Right.
obviously they had to have a certain number of slots filled.
right.
So they would send them wherever they were designated to go. So
Okay.
I wasn't there by myself. We had maybe 20, 25 people between there.
Gotcha. Because I'm just
Okay.
trying to like make the connection with Brian's point of like having a day one friend or something like that you can relate to. So if like you had your squad, which is more specific as you're explaining, your platoon, which is more grander, like then you'd have, I would imagine, a connection with those people already. So that's kind of like the point of trying to connect.
Yeah, so I did have a connection with a couple of those people. And then I even branched off too. I networked a lot over there and made friends with other units within the Army, other people of other branches like Air Force. And then, like I mentioned previously, other soldiers. And I actually kind of made the most of my time there. For example, I was invited to the Norwegian compound, or I made friends with the military police. So I actually got to put on the dog suit and then get flipped and turned.
What's a dog suit?
The military dogs. You know, the bite suit.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so I did that a couple times.
Cosplaying as like a dog. I'm like, whoa, that's
Like
kind
a
of weird,
furry.
bro.
You're talking about furries in the first episode. It's like, we're taking it all back, man.
We accept and support everyone.
Woof.
There's this one Japanese guy that transitioned. I mean, it got a fursuit. He didn't transition, but he's like wanted to be acknowledged as a dog. So he bought a human-sized dog suit. So I was like, oh, so that's what he means by dog suit. I didn't know that was like a military thing as well.
The Norwegian military. We have fur.
we have human-made dog suits, and we just feel like wearing them around the base.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I saw things over there, and I found my.
It's like,
new
what goes on in the military?
And now we lost our entire Norwegian audience.
A platoon full of dogs, man. Human dogs.
Dog suits.
Oh my god! Yeah.
So another question I have for you is: you said you'd work 12 to 16-hour days. So when did your days normally start?
When?
Yeah, like 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 8 a.m.
We would have to.
Or it varies week to week.
It varies.
Okay.
Most of the time, at least at first, we're out in the vehicle ready by like 5:30.
Okay, yeah.
And then if
couldn't be me.
You're still up.
Yeah.
I'd be DJ hours game, and I'm like, all right, I gotta sleep now.
Gotta go with my mission.
Yeah, and if you wanted to video call back home, you'd have to be awake at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
Because how far ahead is Iraq to the U.S.? Probably what, 6 hours, 8 hours?
No, it was
less, more.
It was more. I think it was similar to like Philippine time.
Okay, so like
I think
12.
like we were ahead by like a day, or
I mean,
not a day,
technically,
but, you know,
like a day, like
the future.
calendar day, but
Yeah.
like, it's like 12 hours, 13 hours.
something
I think
around
it's 13,
there.
yeah.
Well, it depends on daylight savings, which is a whole
Mhm.
other thing. But
Yeah.
it's like on average like 12.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, that's definitely it couldn't be me. So you're a morning person then, or you got converted to become a morning
Yeah, they
person?
like change your sleep schedule.
No, I woke
It's
up
been a
late
while.
and I woke up early. I mean, probably
Wait.
for the first couple months, I was getting between 2 to 4 hours of sleep because the adjustment and
Mm,
like wanting to stay connected back home
right.
and all that stuff. And if you wanted to go to the gym, there's only one gym on base between everyone, U.S. forces, the foreign forces.
Mm.
If you wanted to get into the gym and not have to wait, the gym was 24 hours. So
Well, had to be.
Yeah. Yeah, so
It's
I
like,
would
no, we
show-
close at 10.
This is, super
Underlocked.
cramped.
Yep. So I would actually go to the gym at 2 a.m.
DGen workouts.
There we
Yes,
go.
I love that.
It's productive, though.
It's a vibe out there when it's like no
Yeah.
one in there.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Well,
there-
ideally.
Is there air
You see other people
conditioning?
like thinking the same thing. It's like, I'm gonna go at 2 or 3 in
And
the
this is
morning,
packed.
and then it's packed.
It's like, what? How?
Is there air conditioning on base or anything like that? Or when you're at the gym, you're just like sweating already and you just sweat even more?
There's air conditioning at the gym, and we would have like some office spaces with air conditioning. So
Gotcha.
same with our rooms.
That's good. If you didn't have that, I'd imagine it'd be pretty
Be brutal.
hard to sleep, or you just pass out because of heat exhaustion.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it'd be
Basically.
awful.
So, like, what got you into the military in the first place?
Well, honestly,
It's a whole life story.
whole life story.
Oh,
not
here we go.
necessarily. No, not
Oh.
necessarily for the military. But I will say that a lot of my family was military themselves.
Okay.
So my
Army specifically, or other branches?
other branches, Navy, Air Force specifically.
Okay.
The amount
Smart.
of judgment that I got when I joined Army was immense.
Really?
Yeah.
And why is that?
Very.
Because you did a different
Path.
character route? Then
Character route.
I wanted to like say it in a funny way. So that's what I
Different
said.
route.
You go a different character route than your family members, and that's why they didn't like
Different
it.
class.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically different class.
Chose a
right?
different class.
What?
Instead of doing the Navy class.
We don't need this class.
Yeah. Well, it mainly concerned, right? Concerns of
Right.
different quality of life compared to at least Air Force. Air Force quality of life is really up there compared to the other branches.
Right.
And then Army being perceived as like you're going to be on the front line, right?
Mhm.
So I understand it from that standpoint. And then maybe from like a pride standpoint of like, well, the rest of the family is all Navy and Air Force. Why are you choosing something else?
Yeah.
Right. So, but going back to your question, why military? A lot of
And like
part
why
of
the
it-
Army too?
Well, okay.
Yeah,
well,
so-
why the Army? Why military? A lot of it was influenced by family members. So,
Okay.
and then when I turned 17, I was actually kind of on my own.
Yeah.
So paying all my bills, paying for college,
Good for you.
and I just couldn't afford college by myself, you know. And
While you were still in high school, or you graduated high school at 17? and
I
then-
graduated at 17.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that
Because
makes
you
a lot
probably
more
had a late
sense.
birthday then, right?
Mhm.
This is probably like summer birthday or something like that.
Yep.
Because mine was
Yeah.
a summer birthday and I graduated at 17. So
Yeah.
so
So
you have like your June, July, August, and those are like usually the babies in the age group
Yep.
because of that. So
Yep.
Makes sense.
So military, because I knew of all the benefits, the schooling.
did you do
paying for
ROTC
schooling.
or is that only because I don't know too much about ROTC because that's like a recruitment kind of like
They do that
agency,
in
I
like
guess you could
colleges
say.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, ROTC.
Is that how you got into that, or is that something else?
No, that's
Okay.
something else. ROTC is essentially going to college while doing military courses to become an officer.
Okay.
Mm.
I went the enlisted route,
Okay.
so different class, I guess. If you were to,
It all comes back to classes.
Back to the gamers.
Back to the gamers logic.
Yeah, but
But-
you knew since you were like younger that the military was like a realistic option. Like you didn't have any other plans besides that.
Yeah, there was no plan to go into military. It was just kind of easier to dive into because I already knew so many people in the military. I was aware of the benefits. Purely, it was joining in for benefits to pay for college and, well, new experience as well, right? I know that can really beef up your resume and things like that. But the reason why I chose Army specifically, I went to talk to like every single recruiter of like every branch, and honestly, just talking to the Army recruiters, it just felt more right for me. And
Like you trusted those recruiters more, or like
just hearing how they described it, and
Mm.
also looking at the jobs available to me based on my score.
so there's like an aptitude test of some sort.
Yeah, there
Fitness,
is an
right?
aptitude.
Like
Okay.
fitness and stuff and whatnot.
I'm sorry. what?
Fitness tests and whatnot. Or that's before you get.
like basic fitness, not like
Okay.
if you can't do a certain amount of an exercise or something like
Pull-ups
that. Like you
and-
can't.
Yeah.
pull-ups.
you can't be in
mile
this
run or
job.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so they didn't really test on that side. More so the aptitude side.
Gotcha.
Yep, to see what kind of jobs you could qualify for.
Mm.
So really, I qualified for everything except working in nuclear functions
Oh,
or
wow.
operations.
And
So.
it's an Army thing, right?
It's not. I
What?
believe that it's not just Army.
Okay.
On that?
For the nuclear thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm not too sure on that.
It's kind of strange that they look for that. Like
Yeah,
the
it's
nuclear
like-
piece. I don't know why they.
I think they probably want like engineers or something.
Well, yeah,
like-
engineers.
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
But I
Mhm.
mean, just
can't just be like a fresh high school graduate.
Yeah.
no.
Like,
I'm saying it's just like it's just weird. Just see that they're looking for that as applications because I mean it's just how nukes are. Just very dangerous,
Yeah.
very toxic contamination, stuff like that. So it's weird
Mhm.
that they're looking out for. Because you think that they just like look for like scientists or something like
Yeah,
that. So it's
exactly.
kind of weird that they're looking for just people that are just naturally
Just enlisting.
applying, enlisting.
Well, there's like scientists, and I'm pretty sure like there are people that administer like if ever it comes to that point, you have to like release a nuclear bomb. I'm pretty sure there are people that are doing that. Just like how you were like an ammunitions like specialist. like loading like the tanks and whatnot. I feel like there are people that are designated for like just in case something happens. They're the ones to actually execute the plan.
Yeah. I mean, DOD, Department of Defense, that's the whole point of the military, right? So
I guess wouldn't it be more of like an Air Force thing? Because like how they like bomb
drop
like,
it. I mean, God forbid.
So
Yeah, for real.
We don't need a third dropping. So
no, for sure.
But it's pretty. My dad was Navy, and he'd always say either if he were to join either besides Navy or Air Force, because he's like you're either in the rear with the gear in the Air Force or like the Navy kind of just in your boats and stuff like that, or aircraft carriers and things like that, compared to the Marines, which is a branch of the Navy, but they just try to distinguish themselves from being associated with the Navy.
Yeah,
because they're the first ones in, and then the Army is known for being the last ones out. So that's kind of like the rap that I have heard. And is that true from what you've heard or experienced?
I think similar, to be honest. Everyone has their role to play. People who's going to get sent out first and stay back to support, and God forbid if anything happens, then we're all in it, right?
Yeah.
So if we get drafted, do we?
We're going there.
I don't think,
let's see if we got
past the age though, unless they increase it.
No, just like hypothetically, maybe not us per se, but like people.
What's the age
like,
limit?
I think it's 28 or 26, one or two.
Something
to get
like
drafted.
The drafted, yeah.
But so the draftees, do they get a choice of which branch they get to work for, or is it more so like the government kind of chooses based off of like the aptitude test and make
it's
it
probably
easier?
Army defaults because they need more people on the front line.
I think you need it for everybody.
Would you
like
even know
modern
that?
wars are fought on all
I don't
fronts,
think you know that.
So.
I think it's like above his pay grade.
Well above my pay grade.
But you still do a lot of work for the military today.
No, I actually
You're done.
recently finished out my 6 years.
Okay.
Nice.
So that was back in January. I do have 2 years
like
left.
last month January or like January 24.
Like last month January.
So you just got out.
There you go.
I just got out.
Free man.
Thank you. Yep, and that's why I'm able to have this. That's why I'm able to grow this out.
I totally forgot
right.
about that. You have to like shave your head and like no like, facial hair at all.
Not necessarily shave your head, just certain regulations, you know. Hair can't touch the ear, sideburns can't go past a certain point. Mustache hair can't touch your lips, no facial hair, beard, or it can't go past your lips.
Oh, if you only have a mustache? You can't have.
You can have a mustache. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you can't have like a beard though.
You can only have the stash.
Well, there's certain like
because you're saying like you can't go here, so if that and then that's part of your like beard, facial hair features.
Yeah.
So, and you point out your mustache.
Sorry, I had a really bad thought that came up. I was like, should I say it on?
Can you say it on camera?
We're gonna have to.
It might be
record
edited out,
this.
but like, can you imagine like someone just getting like the Hitler stash?
I was thinking the same thing before. I was like,
because you were talking about like the standards, and I was thinking like
I was thinking the
you
same
could technically
thing.
do it. It's within the rules.
I was like,
You
yeah, bro,
can,
I'm not
like,
that
bro,
much.
Yep. There are instances where you can have a beard, such as religion, or perhaps like maybe if you, because you have to shave every day.
Could you just lie about like you just say that you're a Muslim or something?
I think they do that when the background check happens.
How do you prove it? Like, you
lie.
can't really show a certificate or anything.
I'm not sure. I know that there's some sort of verification process for certain things.
Yeah,
so
it's like, tell us about this religion.
yeah, but or even those that where if they shave every day, their skin reacts a certain way and it gets all itchy and it distracts. Yeah, so they do have waivers for that. So
gotcha.
Can't imagine not having a beard.
Yeah, for real. Me neither.
You sound like the mustache goatee combo.
Like if you have a jawline, you could use a beard to like kind of like hide that, I guess. But then when you're in the military, the's no hiding anything.
Hey, they can see your
out
jaw
in the open.
Yeah, you gotta start mewing. Can you imagine?
But on other notes, still related to the military aspect, but off camera, you're talking about you got involved, and you brought up earlier too, with the veterans with like home acquisitions and stuff like that. Could Could you explain to the audience kind of what that is about?
The benefits.
The programs that you got for like house flipping and like for being like a business owner. You're talking about, remember?
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I was more so with veterans. There are policies out there such as the VA home loan.
Mm-hmm.
So the ability to get a house for 0 down. And actually, if it's your first house, there's no limit to how big a loan you could take out. Obviously, you would have to get approved for that based off of your credit score, your income, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different rules associated with that. You could buy a fourplex, triplex, duplex, and have it rent out the other units while you live in one. A lot of veterans use that as house hacking and kind of get started on their real estate investment portfolio.
And that's how you became the business owner piece, or like how'd you get involved and find out about that?
So
I know, I mean, we discussed, but I mean, the audience does not.
With the business owner piece, to be honest, I haven't heard too many, or I haven't dove in too much into the veteran benefits. I do know that there are classes for veterans to learn about business structure, things like that. So that way they're informed and can make informed decisions when having a business. And I do know there's veterans grants and loans for businesses, stuff like that. More specifically, recently I joined a group of veterans on Facebook. I just networked and found a group of veterans who are...
Were they the Norwegian ones?
No, they were not. Nope, they're US. But all of them have their own companies and invest in real estate in different ways, whether it's buy and hold, flipping, rent, being a landlord, virtual wholesaling, and really just originally looking into just house hacking to lower my expenses, my living expenses, cost of rent, stuff like that. That's how I got introduced to that world of real estate investing.
And when did you get introduced to it? Last year or this year?
End of last
it was
year?
Actually, end of last year, beginning of January. And then through that, I learned more about wholesaling. You could do it in person or virtually. And
what's that for the audience and myself? Like that? Just want to be sure.
So wholesaling is really about finding houses that are distressed or property owners that are distressed. Examples could be homes that are water damaged or have code violations, or distressed property owners could be people who got arrested or people who inherited a house because a family member passed away, or a divorced couple that have a house together, but none of them want to live in that anymore. Right. So the whole premise is, how do I get rid of my house? How do I sell my property so I have nothing to do with it? Right. And really wholesaling is about finding those people, getting their house for cheap, for out of convenience, and then going out and finding real estate investors within the area, perhaps, who want to either fix up the house, remodel the house, flip it, and they'll buy it for you for a little bit of a higher price, but still at a good, decent discount, to where once they finish fixing it up, they can make a profit.
See, that's what I was going to ask you, because I was going to ask you, like, what's the main difference between that and real estate? And it seems like you're kind of like the middleman. So like, I didn't even know that there was that step, but I mean, I'm learning new things from you.
Yep. So essentially wholesaling, you're just the middleman. You're finding the good deals. You're, depending on how you look at it, you're helping people conveniently get rid of their properties and make money themselves, or selling their properties and helping someone else find good deals, essentially. Just like CarMax, right?
Yeah.
So like, don't they have like big companies that also do this on a larger scale, but then you're doing this on like a smaller scale?
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
Yep. There are companies who do that. Maybe they start out as that, because really wholesaling and house hacking, those are kind of thought as lower barrier to entry and even lower risk in terms of investing into real estate. Right.
It just depends, because I think what you were saying with the veterans what is it like? There are no down payments and stuff like that. That's like a huge benefit to have compared to someone that like us three who aren't veterans. We at minimum have to put a down payment. So it's like having the assets to do that or liquidity to do that compared to someone like you. Like you don't have to do that, but it'd be nice to do like a down payment. So that gives you better flexibility with your buying power than us, I would say.
Yeah, and that's more, but the thing is with that veterans loan, you do have to live in that property for a year. It's not like I'm just buying it. I can't just buy multiple houses and then for zero down and then
vacation
sell
house,
it.
you know?
Yeah, I would have to live into
Can't play
that.
Monopoly. Just get everything.
Yeah, so really the point of the VA loan is like the easy way into becoming a landlord or hiring a property manager to manage your other tenants in your duplex, triplex, fourplex.
Right.
It's pretty smart. It's almost like taking advantage of a loophole, but it's not exactly a loophole.
It's not a loophole. It's actually
you're taking advantage of your
benefits.
Yeah, your benefits.
So, but with wholesaling, that it's really quick, easy way to get cash and money, to be honest, because you can have a wholesaling fee that averages between $5,000 to upwards of $80,000 for just one deal.
Jeez.
And there are people who might be doing it solo, but they're consistently doing 5 deals a month.
So you would be getting paid by the real estate company.
It would be
So the
getting
person that
paid
acquires
by,
the asset, the property.
who
Okay.
Because you're
buys
the
the
middleman.
contract.
Okay.
So
My question for this, so you said you just started learning this year, early this year, or late last year. So what do you have? Maybe you don't, but what is your goal for 2025 and vision for this? Is it to learn more about it? Maybe potentially start being the middleman of the wholesale market, or like what is it? What's your vision for 2025 on that?
honestly, for 2025, my vision for this is really to start going in and being that middleman, finding which housing market I want to go into, which counties, getting software to manage all my leads, and finding ways to get the phone numbers of these people that might be willing to sell their house or might be wanting to sell their house. Just putting it into motion so that way I could start failing forward. Right. It's going to be a learning process, learning the legal side of things, right? Making sure I have my ducks in a row, making sure my business is organized properly and that I'm on top of anything I might need for taxes and things like that. So really this year is just a year of action, regardless of where I end up, as long as I'm putting in the effort, consistently calling every day, maybe starting out at 100 dials a day.
Wow.
Maybe only calling.
That's crazy.
That's a lot.
Just only
stuff like that.
To start
Only.
with.
Well, also keep in mind for my civilian job, I've been in business to business software sales, tech sales, selling software. So
it's up your wheelhouse, basically. Is what you're trying to imply.
So you're used to this.
Yep, I'm used to it. I've done the 60, 80, 100, 120 dials a day before. It's nothing new to me. Getting told no on the phone, getting rejected, having the people yell at you. That's nothing new. But really, it's just about finding that one person that'll say yes or I do have a problem that you can solve for me. So
how would you go about finding these leads? Is like Googling it, or is there like as you said, a database out there that you could use to find these leads?
Well, as I'm learning more, there's a lot of different ways, right?
Okay.
Even right now, you can go on Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, right? The on-market stuff. Granted, those are good. There's going to be more nuances with that too, right? It's going to be competitive. People who actually just want to buy it just to move in, right? There's government lists out there that you can find or you have to inquire about to see if you can get access to. There's software out there that show you the likelihood of someone who wants to sell. Maybe it's a probate, meaning a family member died and they inherited the house, right? And they're like, I don't want anything to do with this house. So there's many different ways to find it. And even marketing, right? Having your own website, putting out like sticky notes on people's doors. Like you can drive around neighborhoods and do that if you really, really wanted to.
I forgot to ask, but what is your business name? I'm curious now. Is it funny?
Is it punny?
No, my business name is JMR Property Ventures.
Okay, just initials. Initials. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
What's the M?
It's not my initials.
Okay.
Oh.
I was gonna think like because your middle name is like a C, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, CL.
CL.
So
You have 2 middle names?
technically I have 2 first names.
Whoa.
Well, I
Is
found
it like
out,
like there's a hyphen or whatever?
no, I found out that's a
Like-
common thing for Filipinos.
Jesserino.
No.
Yeah.
That's like
I've met other Filipinos that have 2 first names,
I
which
mean, I
gets
could think
messy
of-
with
yeah.
the paperwork.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I in that case, I just changed it to be my middle name. So
Okay.
just for the sake of easiness.
convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of those like 2 first names could be kind of weird. Like I have a cousin named Jackie. That's his nickname, but his
Yeah.
actual first name is Jamie Dick.
Hmm.
So it's but then like it doesn't like it would have been cooler if his name was JD. You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Mhm.
nickname.
JDP.
Yeah.
But they just went with Jackie because it's a I don't know.
Thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like my aunt's name is Maria, and they call her Tita Baby. So
What?
it's, they have weird nicknames like
or
some,
you have your Tito Boy.
yeah, or
there's
like
always a
Bong
Tito
Bong.
boy.
You know,
Oh.
I like
Yeah.
that one.
it's like my name is Bong.
Bong.
Guess why my parents named me Bong? Like, but it's pronounced Bong. Yeah, we have a friend like from the church that we grew up. Everyone calls him Buddha.
Mhm.
I don't think it's a Filipino thing. I think it's just because he looked like the Buddha.
Appearance.
Oh, what?
It's definitely kind of weird, but side
So
tangent.
basically, like a Filipino guy looks like Buddha. That's why he's
Oh,
called
okay.
Buddha.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
you, for the
Yeah, I was
context
like,
for you.
what?
you know, because he's bald
He's
and
bald,
big.
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 I was gonna say something else. I was like, this name big. That's a real nice way to put it.
Yeah, but apparently he lost a bunch of weight, so it's kind of like hard to call him Buddha because he
He's
looks
skinny
nothing
Buddha
like
now.
Yeah.
Yep.
booty.
Yep.
Booty. But yeah, that's awesome though. As you said, it's a trial and error kind of year for you, related to the whole business aspect of it. So I'm hoping for the best for you. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe we all are. I guess.
Thank you.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Thank you.
So it's very exciting. So you do anything hobby wise, or you're just too busy of a man to have time for that?
Yeah, honestly,
Gaming,
in terms
anime.
of hobbies, it's almost non-existent.
Got any time for
sometimes,
gaming?
To be
Yeah,
honest.
You still do martial arts, or you plan on doing that?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
you said you dropped volleyball too. So I mean, let's talk about lifting. You said that earlier.
Mhm. Yeah. So,
what is your main vision of lifting? Is it trying to bulk up or to, like slim down,
Kick
get more,
ass.
get more aesthetically like in shape that way, or what is your vision with your whole process with
Mhm.
counting calories and weightlifting and stuff like that?
Yeah. My vision in terms of fitness, honestly, it's slightly driven by wanting to look good, right? Look good,
Mhm.
feel good type thing. Like if
Oh, yeah.
you feel like you fit your clothes better,
Yeah,
seeing you all of a sudden being able to wear certain clothing that you're like, man, I used to be able to wear this, but now I can't.
Mm.
Right. But
Facts.
really the whole vision with tracking my calories, tracking what I'm eating, maybe not religiously, but still enough to lose fat and build muscle. The whole point of it is if I'm doing so many of these things to improve the quality of life, then if I'm eating like shit or I'm not taking care of my body, how am I going to enjoy that life? Right.
Right.
And another motivator of mine too is once I do have kids, how am I going to enjoy life with them if I'm suffering from health conditions or I can't physically, play with them with sports or at the playground or whatever the case, right? So that's my vision is if I'm doing all of these things in the background to improve my life and build my dream life, then I got to make sure that I can actually enjoy that life.
Facts.
Yeah. On the other hand, we have a president who eats McDonald's every day. And he's still going strong, man. Like,
Be built different for that though.
yeah, it's like
Every
that's
day.
exception rather than
Yeah.
the rule.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But McDonald's hits pretty good.
Especially when you had a couple drinks in you. Ooh, anything, anything tastes good.
Yeah, everything
Chuck
tastes good
McDonald's
from
is so
midnight, yeah.
good.
Any deep fried stuff or fried or
We used to have like talks
Greasy
about like the
food
is
the
really
McDonald's
good.
app and getting like good deals. It was a good
Even though
time.
my favorite app is the Wendy's app.
Yeah.
Really?
Please.
Never used it.
It is because
I
you
didn't know
can
there was
use
a
your
Wendy's.
rewards points and you can use their deal offers at the same time.
Oh.
So McDonald's doesn't let you do that.
You can't use your points. I remember there being points.
You can use your points, but
not
you can't use
together.
a deal that they
Oh,
might
you can
have,
do the
right?
points plus the deal,
Yep.
like on top of each
It's
other.
one or the other.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, I love
Yes.
that I'm that fat to know that.
We've had our
or was,
phases
you
in
know,
life.
was working
I mean,
towards something.
Because I
better.
remember you telling me that you had like a friend that was a manager at McDonald's, and he would just go to the McDonald's that he would work at, and get like extra or like free breakfast or something like
Oh,
that.
extra free breakfast, not just a breakfast, but
Extra.
extra free one.
Every day I'm
Free
free every
breakfast.
I will say it was really cool having a friend as the manager of a McDonald's because I could walk in and
Getting those hot
He
cakes
just-
for breakfast or something like that.
yeah, he hooks it up, and even I'll go through the drive-thru. I'll be like, "Hey, is so and so working?" And then I'm just like, "Yeah, let me get a snack wrap." And he knows the recipe for the snack wrap,
Bro,
and
the
then
snack
they weren't
wrap's coming
selling
back.
it. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, this year.
That's
They haven't
sick.
announced a date yet, but it's definitely.
Is it a limited time run
2025.
or is it a permanent thing to the menu now?
I don't know.
Probably limited. I was
Yeah.
probably.
Hopefully
Those are
not. That was my
smacking.
favorite thing to eat, and it was around for a few years.
It was like I remember like the
Mhm.
chicken and ranch snack wrap or something
Oh
like that.
no, I prefer like the honey mustard.
I like the chicken bacon, or was it bacon in there too? I don't know. It's been so long.
Yeah.
It was like 10 years ago. It feels
I don't remember
like.
what it
It's been a while, but like I feel like I just don't go to McDonald's as much because of no snack wrap.
That's the only reason.
That was when you cut them off.
Yeah, now I
I
only
was
go
here
there.
with Taco Bell because of no quesarito.
Bro, I like
Fair.
the naked chicken chalupa. That was my
Mm.
fave. It was the one with like the chicken shell. And then you
Mhm.
have like ground beef
Chicken
in there.
shell. Oh.
Yeah, it's like
I don't-
fried chicken shell. And then
Wow.
What?
That sounds amazing.
yeah, and then like there's kind of like an avocado. There's like a sauce to
That
it,
makes
and then
sense.
tomato cheese.
For you
You asked for
gesture,
ground
it's like a
beef.
meme of Brian saying like avocados. He has to have avocados on anything. And then there's a story. We'll make it a long story short. Is he did some devious things in order to get avocados for free when he was going through a rough time. So that's like a meme now that every time he talks about food, is there always
It's
an avocado
avocados.
as involved with it. So.
Oh,
And if you guys
man.
want to find out what that is, watch episode 3 of our podcast.
You actually remember?
Avocado episode.
Yeah, well, because it was one of the first 3. It was like the first guest
I can't remember if it
episode.
was 3 or 2.
Yeah,
But I usually get the $5 fill up when I go to Taco Bell because that just like hits the spot.
Do you even have that anymore?
$5 fill up.
Yeah, it's like you get. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they still do.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Because I used to get it too.
Yeah, that was so good. You get a drink, you get the cinnamon twist, you get
Yeah.
2 tacos, and then a chalupa,
Something like that.
and then a 3-layered taco or something like cheese taco. or
Something like that. It's a really
Yeah,
good deal.
It's a really good deal for $5.
I get the cantina thingy. I forgot what was in there.
The cantina, is it like the nachos, the cantina nachos, or something else?
No, it's like a Crunch Wrap Supreme, and I think there's like a couple of tacos
Maybe that's
and,
what it is now,
and chips
Dang,
and
now I want Taco
cheese.
Bell.
though.
that one was
Well,
like
they also
$7
have
though, so.
chicken tenders now.
Red
over
chicken
there.
tenders.
How are they?
Chicken
They're really
tenders?
good.
Oh, really?
Honestly,
That's
I will
weird.
take- I know it is weird, but I
That's
will
not gonna
take
be
those
bad.
over Wendy's, McDonald's.
Because didn't
chicken
Taco
nuggets.
Bell also make like it's like Cheetos or nacho cheese fries or something like that?
Oh, yeah. Nacho fries.
Nacho
Those are
fries.
so
Well, they
good.
also have like Dorito
Mhm.
Locos Tacos.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
I
But
love
I
those.
was talking about like fries and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
even talk about fries, but I just thought about that.
Nacho
when
fries
we were
are too
talking
good.
about chicken tenders for some reason.
Yeah.
And look at us talking about food of not even trying to eat healthy.
Yeah,
time to take it all back.
They just fun talking about like the good old fat times, I guess.
I mean, do you remember
like-
after church we would always go to Portillo's or the Taco Bell down the street or
We
or
went
the
to a lot of
McDonald's?
places. I
Yeah.
remember like going out, like I think we talked about in another episode where after church we would go to IHOP, and I don't think you were there. Like I
No.
didn't met you then, but I was eating like a whole rack of ribs to myself, and I was like a 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
Nice.
good time.
I know
man.
IHOP had ribs.
I ain't either.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, because I think that was in the food
The
tournament.
dinner.
The food tournament
yeah.
that you're talking about.
Yeah, like before
I know they
dinner,
had
like
ribs,
late
that's
night, they
what
had
you-
ribs.
All I know is like their breakfast and lunch. So that's kind of crazy.
Mm.
They have ribs. That's so
Yeah.
random.
Huh.
It was kind of like a very good memory.
Core memory.
Core memory.
8 or
I think.
9-year-old Brian just going to
smashing
town on
some
ribs.
ribs.
Yeah, man.
Just inside out memory of Brian just getting all happy.
Oh yeah, dude. Those are the good old days. Now I gotta watch what you eat, or else like you get heart problems.
True.
The trade-offs in life, bro. You don't have a good time, but then it's a boring time.
That's why the saying goes, we're here, right here for a long time. We're here for good stuff. You gotta mix
the good old fat days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Hey man, some might argue that's why you work out, so you can eat more.
Yes, sir.
True.
Thanks there.
But it's all about the diet still too. Because like when I was younger, I thought that like I could be like Goku. Like as long as I lift weights and run like a bunch, I could just eat as much as I can.
Yeah.
And I would like not lose any weight, but that's not how it works out. You run a mile and it's only like 200 calories that you're burning, and then you eat a whole rack of ribs that's like 2,500. So it's like something's not adding
I have
up,
more calories now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's just how it is. It kind of sucks, but you have to work so much harder to burn what we eat. So that's why, as Jess was saying, counting calories or being cognizant of it at the very least of what you eat. Because the saying goes like your body's a temple, so you just want to make sure you're like not putting anything.
When you said temple, I was thinking Buddha.
What's he putting in his temple?
Yeah.
Buddhist temple.
Taco Bell every day.
Cameo is just like his face just pops in like right here.
What's in his
It's a
temple?
food, it's like a food temple. Yeah. I just fill it with food, man. It's only the good stuff.
Only the good stuff. So anything unhealthy then. It sounds like.
Taco Bell every day.
McDonald's, Burger King.
So, like, are you a big fan of like gourmet food, or are you just stick to the fast food stuff?
I mean, I limit my fast food intake. My view on it is either you eat less, you change your eating, or you work out more, right? So
Or all three?
We're all three. Right now I'm under 2,000. I'm having to do under 2,000 calories a day.
Okay.
And I still love pizza, but I've found ways to make pizza crust out of chicken. I've made pizza crust out of cauliflower.
Chicken.
That sounds so good.
That
Yeah.
sounds good.
Right? Chicken
Okay.
strips.
I want to try it.
That sounds
So is it like
made-
shredded chicken and then you mix it with...
You mix it with like you can mix it with cheese, you can mix it with eggs. You can and
it's
you
good?
can- oh yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Damn.
It's really good. You could use cottage cheese for a bunch of things. Cottage cheese and eggs, plus whatever seasonings. Make a pizza crust out of that too. So really, just change your eating, like changing what you eat. You can still have certain things.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like food hack like Instagram pages or whatever, and they like it is what it is, like food hacks. Like they'll make like Chipotle sauce that's like high protein. And you just eat that whatever. I've seen them make like taquitos that are high protein. And
I've seen those too, actually. Yeah,
I forget how they make the carbs, but it's usually like high protein carbs.
Yeah.
Like I've figured things out on my own as well. Like with I made like high protein pizzas with I used to buy this like protein flour. I think it's like Kodiak brand or whatever. I think they discontinued the brand, but like I would just mix it with water, salt, and maybe a little bit of like nutritional yeast, and then I'll cook it on the pan. And I put like ground turkey on it, low fat mozzarella cheese, spinach, and like tomato or like sun-dried tomato or whatever. And it's like it tastes like a really good like margarita pizza, but it's mostly protein. So you can kind of like hack your weight into like eating like a lot more protein than you would normally get. But
it's just making time to make all those things.
That's the hard part, especially if you have a really busy schedule.
It takes like 5 minutes to make, but it's kind of risky sometimes. Like when I used to experiment with like mixing like egg whites with a bunch of stuff, and sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't. So
I don't know about 5 minutes though.
I mean,
maybe like
you're just
20.
mixing things into a bowl and then you just put in the pan and you cook it, and it's pretty fast. You're not baking it for like 30 minutes or anything.
I mean, if someone that
Size
isn't
everything.
adept at cooking,
I mean, there's
I'd
a
be
lot
learning like trial. I'm like, I feel like I'm doing this wrong.
You just have to eat it if it's not good.
I'll eat it still.
Suck it up.
It could be absolutely trash. I'll eat it.
It's just burnt. It's
My man
awful.
Sanji would be mad at me for wasting food,
don't waste
bro.
food.
So we don't waste food,
Mhm.
even if it's trash. So
Yeah, I mean the slow cooker and in the oven, best friends.
slow
Honestly.
cookers are amazing.
Yep, you
It's
just set
just
it in
being
there.
around is the only thing.
You can forget about it overnight if you want.
What's that smell? It smells like something's burning.
It's only 7 hours.
But that's how you get a lot of like like tenderness and juiciness from like especially like meat wise.
Oh,
My dad does like a slow cooker,
Mhm.
and man, the meat is really tender, really juicy because of it being marinated in the broth overnight. No, not overnight. I'm just kidding. You're right.
Oh, never mind. I guess you're right.
Nobody does it throughout the day.
The house on fire with the meat.
At least the meat's good. We got no house to live in, but the meat's good.
Our
At
house
least.
is good, but at least it's the best meat we've ever had.
I used to have a slow cooker, and then when I was moving from my old apartment to this one, when I was moving from the old apartment to this one, I dropped it and I broke the top. So
No.
I ended up like,
Usually the bottoms are like literally unit.
Indestructible.
Yeah.
Like a Nokia phone.
yeah, so like I still kept it like in our apartment. It was like inside one of the cabinets with like a cracked top part, and I think it like fell off. And then
Dang.
you can't really you want to like keep it closed and contained because it might take like half a day to cook food.
Yeah.
Because I used to make like ground turkey chili all the time.
That sounds
Pretty
like
good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's time to invest in one.
Pretty expensive though. Well, depending on size.
No, I just got from like a kind of like a Savers Goodwill sort of place.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't.
So,
Yeah.
oh, you don't
Get from
trust it.
Amazon.
You're just like, you don't know where it's been.
I got trust issues.
Yeah. What they cook in this.
Yeah. You never know. You can deep scrub it and there's still like residue or whatever it was.
That's
But
fair.
it's hot, so it burns all the bacteria.
That's fair too. Oh no, man.
So, like, besides pizzas, is there anything interesting that that you can make that's like kind of like a hack, like for fitness?
I make breakfast frittata. So
I've done that too.
yep, it's
Do you
so
make it like
easy.
a muffin?
No, you make it into a big casserole dish. And
Oh,
then
that's
you just
smarter.
cut it up.
Okay.
And then you have 2 big pieces that's only like 500 calories for like 50 plus grams of protein.
Yeah, because I used to do the same thing, but I would put in like the muffin tray. So I just kind of like it was like a mix of like 1 egg and then just like egg whites. I put some like peppers, mushrooms. What else? Sometimes I put ground turkey, and then like some cheese, and then you just bake in. It turns into a muffin, and you just eat that with like sriracha
Sounds good.
Sriracha.
and like more
Awesome.
cheese or like avocado.
sounds so good.
Yeah, that's,
I'm so hungry now.
yeah. I like how we just ate too, and really talking about food.
Always seems to be a trend.
For real.
Yeah.
Food, aliens, and ghosts. The 3 recurring topics that always seem to make its way into these episodes.
You still watch anime?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually watched the Solo Leveling episode today.
Oh,
So
nice.
Oh, I haven't
That
seen it yet.
was really good. Dr. Stone still on that.
There you go. Last season.
Yeah. Yep. Last season. Dragon Ball Daima still going on.
There's a Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I heard it was really bad.
It was his last. It was Akira
Last thing he worked on.
Toriyama's,
Last work.
worst.
Okay.
Not worst.
Oh, Jesus.
Last
Worst
work.
thing ever made.
No,
I heard it was pretty bad though. One of my coworkers, but granted, what he says is like not the best.
It's the same guy who said
It's
like
not
100
the best.
girlfriends.
It's really good. He's like, yeah, it's pretty base. I'm like, bro, it's terrible. It's trash.
It's garbage.
You don't have to be nice because he's dead.
But
No, I'm talking about coworker.
Oh,
Mm.
good.
I'm not talking about Toriyama because
Yeah.
because he's the coworker that said 100 Girlfriends is really good, and I watch it and like
This show's
it's
so
like so bad. I'm like, why? How do you think this is good?
That's a junk food show.
Yeah. So they'd have season 2. I'm not gonna. Maybe I'll watch
I mean, I
it.
still watch it. It's garbage, man.
Maybe it's like the fast food and anime. You know,
exactly.
you gotta just like. It's not good, but sometimes you just
It's
gotta
just
just
the
watch
garbage
it.
you wanna watch.
Yeah. I feel like we all kind of like started like watching like the first animes that we watched were like either action or like romance.
Mhm.
So I feel like we all had that phase like in high school. In a way.
yeah, and the anime we would watch for the plot.
For the plot.
We all had
Only for the
those.
plot
For the
stuff.
plot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you remember the first anime you watched for the plot?
I know mine.
the OG, High School DxD.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right.
Was it really?
I think that was the
Mine was
first
High
one.
School of the Dead.
That was
yeah.
the second.
I watched
Yeah.
High School of the Dead with my little sister. She was like 7 or 8 at the time. She didn't
nice.
understand what was going on. Like when they were like, I think they were they were on like the fence, like walking the fence or something, and the girl
Mhm.
needed to pee, so she peed on the zombies, and my sister had no idea what was going on.
I don't think did that happen.
I'm pretty sure it
I don't
did.
remember that happening at all.
It wasn't on the zombies. It was on the guy carrying her on the fence. But yeah,
It
Oh, I
happened?
don't
That
re-
happened. I don't
Yeah.
remember that at all. The only thing that
Well,
lives in my
there's
head
zombies on
rent
both
free
sides.
is the rifle one.
Yeah, okay. With
Yeah. He shot it, and it's like-
Yep.
So goofy.
Cracks me
Imagine
up.
the timing on that.
Had to get it just right for that to work out.
See, like all this anime had to be like manga at some point, and like, could you imagine being an artist? Be like, I'm gonna write this scene.
It's like, yeah, this is
and people are gonna find it funny, and like,
I don't think it's funny. Everyone's gonna be like turned on by it, bro.
The artist himself is bricked up drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, yeah, let's do
He
this
down
right
bad
here.
for them too.
like, how does that get popular in like anime culture? Because like, if I was an American company, I'd be like, this might be risky. We might get canceled for this kind of stuff.
Damn,
They're
shit,
like,
I don't know.
F it, we're just gonna
Well,
do it.
how often were people canceled back in those
Well,
times?
it's
right?
also in Japan where they only have like some like panties and like some like vending machines or something, or is that
They
like
have,
Yeah,
like,
they do.
Yeah, they have more open.
is that
use.
common, or is it just like a meme where like they have like one vending machine and everyone says it's
That's
common?
probably a common, I would imagine.
I don't know,
Mm.
actually.
It'd be kind of dumb if it's like, oh, this one specific machine in Shibuya is the only one that sells panties. No, there's probably
Because sometimes
multiple.
people blow things out of proportion, but I wasn't
I'm
sure
not
if it was one of those
I don't know. I know
cases.
some are like the more open with sexual content, or at least I think.
Sounds like a good tax write-off to go explore.
Gotta go research this.
for research purposes.
Red light
Go to-
district.
No, red light district.
Take a
love
whole
hotels.
boys trip out there.
Maybe it was
No.
meant for like women to like buy it, but then men ended up buying it.
They're just like
They had good intentions, but it
their
just didn't
emergency
turn out
penny
right.
machine. Wait,
Yeah.
there's no girls buying from this.
Well, I don't know how you can know who buys it though. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Unless there's a camera to see.
There
who buys
might
it.
be data behind this.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
you know,
definitely. If there was ways to track it, yeah.
Makes you
I'd
wonder.
probably say it's more in the scales of men buying it for the memes than actually women buying it.
I'm pretty sure it's
I
mostly
don't think they're
men.
buying it for the memes.
They're buying it for other
Yeah.
things. Oh. There are weird
Like-
fetishes out there, so I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it past you guys. Especially in Japan, they have some
Yeah.
really extreme fetishes out there.
I think their culture is just overall like different. Like I've seen like those street interviews where people are asked like, if your partner cheated on you like physically, would you get mad? And they'll be like, oh, that's not an issue because it's like
I
so
saw that
common.
too. I was like,
But
what
then
the
they're like, oh, what if they leave you to marry somebody else? Like, no, that's a problem because that looks bad on their family.
Mm.
Whereas if like the person is going to like an escort or something like that, then they don't really care. They're like, it's just sex,
Mm.
but there's no feelings involved. So they're like, yeah, if they need to do whatever they need to do, it's fine with me.
It's
But
interesting.
then they're like, oh, what if they leave you? They're like, no, that's gonna look bad on my family. And I'm just like, that's crazy to think about that.
yeah,
But
it's, way
it's just different, man.
Cultures, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you plan on going to Japan like anytime soon?
Every
or-
guess we
Every
ask.
Oh, yeah. We're all gonna go together.
We're gonna go together. We're gonna have our whole podcast, all guests included, going to Japan.
Gonna record in Japan.
Yep.
Middle of some
Yeah.
random alley. But what are you guys doing?
Eventually, yes.
That's like the hot springs and stuff. Wherever the
Experience
wind blows
culture, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
If
wanna
you had
see some
3
cherry
travel
blossoms.
locations for countries, where would you go? And Brian said something, I cut him off. I apologize.
No, just go for it because it's more interesting than what I was gonna say. I don't even remember what I was gonna say. So,
Man. Well, Japan. You gotta do Japan.
Is that,
Bummer.
are you going to rank them or no?
Rank them?
Or is that too hard to do?
I don't know if I could rank them, to be honest.
So,
Philippines, you know, the home
have you been?
away. I've never been.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yep, the Philippines. Got to know what that's about. You know, big giant spiders.
That's Australia.
Bad
bro.
strategy.
That's
I
Australia.
remember seeing big giant spiders in the Philippines. Just see
I don't
regular
know.
ass spiders.
The huntsman, man. The huntsman spiders in Australia are freaking crazy. They're the size of your body if you see pictures
What?
of it. Yeah. You see some Australians pulling out shotguns to kill them, bro.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You could write a whole
awesome.
video game of you just hunting spiders in Australia.
Anything
Alright.
else in
Next
Australia
game
is
jam
crazy.
idea.
All right, Philippines and Japan.
Okay.
Yep.
Unless
Philippines,
you're going for
Japan.
the spiders, then yeah, I'd probably say Australia for you.
No. Honestly, maybe I'm thinking Korea.
North,
Which one?
South.
Definitely north.
Why not?
Definitely the one I'm allowed to go to.
You actually
So-
go to both.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
They just don't have that
There's
many
one
people
way
that come
into
in.
North Korea, no way out. I don't know.
Oh,
No, there's people that have documentaries of going to North Korea because you could go there, but it's all. I mean, some things are like that. They're like scheduled, and it's
Oh, it's
all,
all guided,
also at
right?
the front too.
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think they
No.
lay into mainland North Korea. Like they just send you to like a fake city.
No, they send you to the
nicest
capital.
parts.
Yeah, the nicest part. They don't send you to the outskirts.
Oh, okay.
So,
So,
like,
you
when
don't
you
really
go-
see the people suffering.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I mean, maybe you can when you're like maybe not landing, but like, probably I don't know, because if you're in the nice parts, in theory, you probably wouldn't see the worst parts because they're probably more out there. Because I seen one, because it was just like in the rabbit hole of watching YouTube videos. They had like one of the times they went on a guided tour. They went to a mall, but all the tourists there were the only ones in there besides the workers.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So it was like really strange. So it's there, but they want you to just see the best parts and not what media.
So yeah, like a nice idea of it.
Right.
Oh, yeah. What they want you to think it looks like.
right. Then compared to how the media makes it, which is more of what it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but aside from like North Korea, what about South Korea? What do you? There's nothing to talk about for North Korea. It's like, what are you gonna do there? Just talk to Kim Jong Un?
I don't think you would have the opportunity to talk to him, bro.
But like, if there,
I've
if
watched
there
The
was something you would do,
Dictator,
yeah,
Just
okay.
Or not the dictator, the interview.
the interview.
They're both movies.
Yeah, right. They are both copies, man. You're not wrong there.
True.
Yeah.
So what were like your reasonings for all three of them then? South Korea, Japan, and Philippines. All Asian countries.
Yeah,
Which is,
yeah.
talk about
which
that.
is nothing wrong with that. There's
Honestly,
more cool stuff out there for
No,
sure.
for sure.
Yeah, Philippines, because so many family and friends from there. So
Mhm.
always wanted to experience that, right?
Mhm.
The home away from home or
Right.
the home. Yeah, just never been. So want to explore that. Japan, just another culture that exposed to through many, many different ways, media, anime, whatever
Mm.
you want to think about. But, and Korea, because my grandparents, they lived in Korea for probably 3 to 4 years.
That's sick.
Okay.
Not too long ago before they retired.
Mhm.
So they always talked about their good experiences there and how technology is so advanced over there, or like it's just prevalent, or just
I
wanting
think
to
technology is
experience something
prevalent
like,
everywhere. It just
Yeah,
depends
but-
how advanced as it
Mhm.
is.
or how integrated it is to the day-to-day
Society,
life.
right.
And so just different places. Obviously there's other places I'd love to visit, right? Bahamas, Mexico. Like
Oh, you never been to Mexico?
I've been to Mexico through like a cruise ship, but
Oh,
I've never been to
like,
Mexico, like, exploring or
I don't think
with
there's-
friends that are familiar
We
with
shouldn't explore because of
some stuff.
Yeah.
Some parts you can't
The
explore.
benefit of being Filipino is, and Filipino with a beard is, I can play the part pretty well.
You know any
Yeah, I
Spanish?
was saying,
I'm
yeah, you
just
know
kidding.
Spanish?
Yes.
Como estas?
Yeah.
What?
Me llamo Jester.
Isn't
Me
Raton,
llamo.
isn't Raton like isn't that a Spanish last name? Or no?
Yeah, Raton Raton
Raton.
is,
It's not Mexican, it's Spanish.
it's mouse
Mouse.
in Spanish.
Same.
Hmm.
Mickey
It
Mouse.
makes probably more like it makes more sense if it's like Spanish because of how everything happened Philippine history wise.
Yeah, good
It's-
times.
Spaniards coming over there and doing that. I'm not gonna get into the details of it.
I think they understand.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And if not, you could look it up.
Just
on
look at
Google or
general
something.
history.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Random fun fact though, Filipinos over there during those times, they would fight with yo-yos.
that's actually kind of
Yo-yos are
base.
weapons.
That's kind of base.
That's like an anime character. That's
It's like
sick.
Blade. You
Yeah,
know, with
exactly.
those tops. with
Yeah, the
some
inventor of
top.
the yo-yo is Filipino, I'm pretty sure.
Mhm. They're also the inventors of the bump set spike for
For volleyball? No way.
Oh,
Wait, when was volleyball invented?
1960, I'm for some
Wow,
reason
I thought it was gonna be a lot older than that.
I thought it was older.
1940 something.
That was gonna be like
That's what comes to
1912
mind.
or something. It's like in the
Yeah.
middle of World War One. They just decided to create a sport.
Let's do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, random fun facts.
yeah. It's
Right.
always good to have those little nuggets of information.
For real. For real.
Was it developed in the Philippines? Like the sport?
The sport wasn't developed, but
It
that
was created.
concept
Okay.
of bump set spike.
Oh, so people were
was-
just hitting it back and forth, just willy nilly.
Yeah, just
Oh,
bumping it back and forth.
oh, it was just a bumping game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bumping game. True.
Yeah, that'd be fun to play. Like, if we ever record ourselves playing volleyball, Just like
What?
Could
messing up.
easily make that happen.
Doing what? Doing bumps only, or doing
Bumping
bumps at
sport.
Just either
or just playing
anything,
volleyball in general?
Just playing in general.
Okay.
Yeah. Watching Brian play volleyball is a treat.
Oh, yeah, I just slap the ball a lot.
Slap it.
Yep.
Yeah. Because we do like practices and stuff like that, and he's like, "Bro, we're just supposed to control the ball." I'm like, "Ah."
It's just like that's when I hit it.
I'm just hitting it to hit it, just
Yeah, that'd
just
be
to
me.
see if you can return it or whatever.
Just to see if you can return it.
Yeah, but that's not like how you practice. Just kind of like just with any sport, like you just want to like get the motions down and get the fundamentals, and you're not trying to score points during like practice.
Well, in theory, you are. Because, like, say you're like working on your serves and you're doing like a jump serve. Yes, like, especially like haiku, you can like make the analogy to that. When Kageyama was trying to learn how to jump serve, he was aiming for certain bottles on the court. So you're trying to score points, but you're also trying to be like accurate, and we're trying to like have the ball go.
Mm-hmm.
So there is. Long story short, there is points of scoring.
Just keep bumping the ball.
They're not bumping it back and forth.
Just keep bumping it. Don't think about it.
You guys play volleyball at all, like in high school?
I was always terrible at it. In
Really?
high school. Yeah.
Can you just that?
I don't know. I
Just block.
I'll either hit it like
Lunch.
out of bounds or like I'll hit the net.
I went to like a volleyball event like earlier. No, not this year. I mean like last year, like around the summer. And one of my friend's younger brothers was trying to like, he's like 6'3", 6'4", and he was going for like try to like block the ball, and it just hit him in the face. And I've seen him try to like, he tried to like spike it and it just went straight down and just like slid off his hand. I'm like, this is kind of embarrassing.
Those are things we love to watch, though.
Yeah, it's always awesome.
People fail at sports.
Volleyball bloopers.
Because I know back in the day, I don't watch it too much now. Like SportsCenter and ESPN had these things called. It was every Friday. They had not top 10 things that happened in the sports world for the week, and one of them that always sticks out to me is the track event. They were doing the 100 hurdles, so it was like 10 hurdles for 100 meters, and then it was like I think it was somewhere in Asia, like China or something like that. And one of the competitors or athletes, what they did when they started. He just started running through the hurdles, bro.
I've seen one where like he's jumping and just like I think he tipped over every hurdle, something like that.
And then when he was running through the hurdles, he tripped and fell in the other lane, and then he started running through the other person's hurdles.
Bro, it's awesome. What kind of technique is this?
Don't you lose like points or like time every time you knock
lose
over a
time, there's
hurdle?
no points.
Okay.
It's like finishing.
That's
the
what I figured.
fastest.
Like if you finish the fastest, but because you didn't jump over any hurdles, and that gets added to your time.
Well, because you're slowing down, you can't really accelerate if you're running through.
Oh, I thought there was like a
Unless you're
penalty or
Flash.
something.
No,
like
there's no penalty.
Like if you
Oh, there's
knock one out, like knock one over, then they add 5 seconds to your
No,
time.
no, no, no.
Okay.
It's just time based, but that's not the way to run.
So if
it.
it's faster for you to just run through everything, then you might as well do it.
I guess, but
If
I
you
think
could keep moving at
yeah,
that
really
speed while hitting
fast.
everything.
because those hurdles are pretty heavy, not like 20, 30 pounds, but like
Oh,
if you're running,
because I
trying
did
to
track
run,
back in like high school, and like those hurls were not too bad. Like it was
Just keep
pretty
running
easy to
through.
knock over.
no, they hurt, bro. Those like bar things at the top, those hurt. Running
Oh,
through those.
dang.
And then you have like the metal base at
Sorry.
the bottom, so they're kind of heavy too. So I don't know how he did it for 10, but he did it for 10. Bro. His chest was probably in pain.
dude's made of
but-
It's built different.
Oh yeah, no
Literally.
doubt.
Man's a Marvel character or something.
He thought he was the Hulk,
For
bro, just
real.
running through walls and stuff. But
It's
Yeah.
fun stuff. Yeah, I feel like this is a good time to end the episode.
I think so too.
is it right? I don't know, man.
I want to keep talking.
I'm here for you guys.
Hey, man. So this is our episode of the Livin Room Podcast. Again, I was the host for today with my fellow co-hosts Dom and Jason, and our guest Jesser.
All right, we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah.
Peace out, guys.
Saw, dude.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe.
There you go.
Follow us on our socials. We put our Amazon links in the description below. Our affiliate links.
channel.
The OnlyFans channel.
You can see
Yeah.
your feet.
Only our feet.
Only your feet. with no socks either. You get to see our toes.
Yeah. Come watch it for the plot.